What up, everybody? So back by popular demand, a lot of you actually really liked the Ed tutorial video that I made that went through all of his moves and whatnot, and the 15 tips for Terry if you're starting off. So I just thought I'd make one of the deeper dive videos for Terry as well. And honestly, I like making these types of videos, so I hope it helps you on your journey. But first off, big shout out to some of the people that watched my last video. These people in particular solved the problem of why my videos look like absolute garbage. So y'all are the real MVPs, and honestly, you saved me a huge headache. So thanks a lot. All right, so let's talk about Terry's pros. Thankfully, he does tons of damage, and I don't think that's something that we were actually going to be worried about as Terry players. We knew that he always hits hard in all of the games, and it was going to be no different here. But obviously, damage is always good. If you can limit interactions to 2 to 3 a game, that makes a huge difference. So good on Capcom for keeping Terry all juiced up. The next is he has fantastic specials. His specials are incredible. They're a big part of his game. Each one of them is useful, and I'm going to go into that more in depth later in the video, but it's not often where every special a character has is useful, but Terry is definitely one of those characters. Up next, he has incredible normals, in my opinion. They do have probably some limitations if you're playing at a pro level, but most of us, let's be honest, that are watching this are intermediate level or below, and in our day-to-day, these normals are going to be just fine. Are they best in class? No, definitely not. But you know what? There's definitely worse normals out there. Anti-air game, easily one of the best anti-air games, hands down in the entire cast. Not only does he have a 5-frame light DP, he's got an invincible OD DP. Even his Fierce Punch DP goes pretty far, so you can do things like Drive Rush into DP to catch those awkward jumps. He has a Crouch Fierce if you're not feeling it. If people empty jump, you can do the Crack Shoot. You can even do, Anti or Busterwolf. So I'll show some examples of that later, but he is totally covered on the anti-air section. And my god, aren't these people privileged that have the 5-frame DPs? I used to main Marissa and Ed, so I know how hard that is. And lastly, he's got an amazing Drive Rush game, and his cancels into Drive Rush are not only vital to his game like everybody else, but he gets heavy conversions out of it. So even Medium Punch will go into heavy conversions from very far distances, and not every character gets that. So very good that Terry has that, and it's definitely going to carry him a long way. And just to go into some of Terry's cons, which I'll go into more in depth once I start going through all the categories, I do think he will struggle against characters that are very good at zoning, and I'm going to show you why after. But mostly, his fireballs, even though they do serve a purpose and they're definitely good to have and they're going to annoy a lot of characters, they have slow startups, so you're going to definitely have to change up how you use your fireballs. It's not just going to be a simple, Shoto or a zoning character approach. I do think that his normals will struggle against some characters, especially characters that can fight within their sweet spots and in Terry's sour spots. You're definitely going to have to be calculated with how you attack them. And also, many of his combos, they're spacing dependent, so you might run into an issue where you run into inconsistencies. You might be playing on a PlayStation 5 one day or a PC the next, and all of that timing difference might just be like totally out of whack. So it's going to take a lot of practice to master all that spacing to get the consistency right. But right now, I would name those as the 3 biggest cons. And I can't believe I forgot to mention his walk speed. All right, so let's talk about Terry's jabs. Very happy to report he has 2 4-frame jabs. His standing and crouch jabs are 4-frame, which, as you know, is a very good, privilege to have. Not every character has 4-frame jabs in this game. And what you want to know is they do combo into a lot of different things, or they cancel into different specials as well. The most important thing to remember is standing jab at max distance will still combo into Fierce DP. And the reason this is good is sometimes you're just going to slow the game down, hit them with 3 jabs like that, and then mash out DP. And you can also do level 3 after this as well. What it won't combo into is medium bare knuckle like that. So in this situation, we're lucky that the crouch jab will. And sometimes you're going to want to do this option as well, just because this pushes them far. And you can dash forward and be very plus on their block. So good tool to have. And then you can also hit confirm into it. 2 jabs into a crouch jab like that will still work. So he definitely has some tools. And obviously anything that goes into the bare knuckle can also go into level 3. If you want, you can also connect a power charge with it, but you're not really going to see it that often. These are the most important things to know about his jabs. Now, drive rush jab is a whole different story. As you can see, crouch jab and stand jab are +8, which is incredible, which means it can combo into a crouch fierce. Again, not every character can do this. And the situation you're going to do it most is you're going to perfect parry a move, or you're just going to close the gap, get in their face like this, and then you can quickly go into a combo like that. You're going to definitely have to work on your perfect parry timing with Terry, because he's not going to be winning the fireball war in a lot of those situations. So if you can quickly do a perfect parry, jump in, you can get a big damaging combo and push them in the corner. Alright, so up next is Terry's stand medium punch, which is a very, very good normal. As you can see, it moves them slightly forward. It comes out in 7 frames, which is pretty quick. And there's obvious applications for it, like it combos into a lot of his moves. So it'll go into medium burn knuckle, it'll go into a medium quick burn, it'll go into a light crack shoot. There's a lot of things you can do with it. It's also drive cancelable, and again, the reason the drive cancel is important with this is you can go directly into a fierce starter. You can slow down the game a bit by going into a medium starter if you want to give your time, more time. If you want to give yourself more time to react, there's that as well. But the other reason it's important is that it's also a good spacing tool for you. Let's just say I'm in this awkward distance where my crouch medium kick is not going to work. I know that if I whiff this crouch or the stand medium punch, it's going to send me forward, and then it might put me in range. Over here, it won't reach. I whiff one just to be safe, and then again, I can hit him. So you want to incorporate this as like an auto footsie tool to walk yourself forward sometime, just to work on that spacing. But not every character has a medium punch that sends them forward, and you got to take advantage of that in some situations. Up next is Terry Stand Fierce. It doesn't push him as forward as you think it does. Like, there's so many times where I want to punish EX Blanca Ball or something and think this is just going to move me forward, like Ed or Ken or Akuma, but it doesn't do it. That's not to say it's a bad normal. It's still very good and it has utility. But there's a few things you have to remember. One, it hits twice, which is always good, because anything that hits twice gives you a lot of time to think, especially in crunch time if you know you can get a guaranteed combo off. But each one of these hits have different priorities. And what I mean by that is Terry's normal go-to starter for combos is like a heavy charge, because that will go into, crack shoot, DP, you name it. But that's not going to work on the second hit of this. It will work on counter hit and whatnot, but I'm going to get into that after. Where it will work is if you cancel the first hit of it. So you have to have that situational awareness. The same thing goes with heavy power knuckle. It'll work on the first hit, but it will not work on the second hit. Again, it'll work punish counter hit, but we're not there yet, so hold your horses. The other thing that's good is drive cancelable. Always good. The first hit is drive cancelable and the second hit is drive cancelable, so they really made this a safe normal. Very good tool to have, and it's one of those where you do have to work on the spacing, but it has huge payoff when you hit someone with it. So next up is just a standard overhead, 22 frames. You've seen this 1,000,001 times in Street Fighter. It can't be canceled or anything like that, obviously, but it's better to have an overhead than to not have an overhead. And obviously, drive rush overhead is a very big part of this game. Next up is his stand light kick, a very, very, very important, normal in Terry's toolkit. I'm going to tell you why after. But basically, you definitely want to know the perfect ranges for this. And the good thing about this, it still is drive cancelable. It'll combo into light charge, which is very important in a lot of combos, and you're going to see why. And at very far distances, it can still combo into heavy DP. So this is a very good tool for Terry to utilize. And it's just one of those things where it can punish so many things in this game that you wouldn't even believe, just because of how far some of his specials can go after like that. So very important tool. Arguably his, most important neutral tool for punishes. Okay, next up is my favorite normal with Terry, his stand medium kick. In my opinion, it's one of the best normals in the game. It's not perfect in the sense where you can't drive rush after it, so you're committed to it. It doesn't cancel into any specials, and you're going to wonder, why is this so good? It's just a great spacing tool, and it's a great, tool to check people that are throwing out pokes from distances that aren't that safe. But you have to understand this is not like a get out of free normal. It's not like Adon's stand hard kick from Street Fighter 4. That was just such a godly normal. This is more of a, I know my spacing and you don't know your spacing type of check. It has a lot more utility when we talk about the counter hits and punish counters, which I'll get into, but it still has a purpose here because it can combo into stand light kick, and obviously, as we saw from the last part, stand light kick will go into things like blitz, or if you time it correctly, a heavy DP. So has tons of utility. Don't go, trigger happy with it, just sending it out like crazy, because if they do drive impact or drive reversal, they're gonna clip you. And from all the matches that I've played, I've probably only had a reactionary counter drive impact once on this move. So if you do it too close and they do drive impact, you're gonna get hit. But if you get them with the tip, you're gonna be okay. So work on the spacing. This is by far one of Terry's most important normals. And then the added benefit of the stand medium kick that can go into the light kick, or stand light kick, is stand light kick from max distance will still go into medium bare knuckle, which is amazing because it pushes them forward. And if you dash forward right after, you're plus 11 on their wake up. So there's a lot of ways that Terry can combo into things and still keep up pressure. And that's something that has to be a part of your game plan. And then the last of his standing normals is stand fierce. Honestly, I flip and love this move. I know it's 12 frame startup, it's not the best, but it has crazy range and it's safe on block. So it's one of those things where if you think you have the read, just go for it. The payoff is so strong. You're going to see on the counter hit and punish counter sections, but it's a good spacing tool. You can move back. You're so far out of range and you'll still be able to, whiff punish normals like that. So a good tool to have. It can't do anything else. It can't cancel into anything. You can't do any, drive reversals or drive rushes after. So you're very committed to it, but any normal that pushes you this far forward, especially when you have other good normals to, not rely on it as a crutch, is a good tool to have. Now let's talk about some of his crouching normals. First up is crouch medium punch. You will see this move 5 billion times in your life, so get used to it. Is it the best crouch medium punch in the game? No, Bison exists, unfortunately, but it's very good. Why is it good? You know why it's good. It can drive cancel into a lot of things. It can combo into medium bare knuckle. It can combo into the OD version. It can combo into DP. You name it, it likely can combo into it. It can't go into the hard chains, without like a counter hit or punish counter, but it's still good to have a medium punch that can, have this much utility. And the best part is when you drive rush out of it, it will always combo into fierce routes. So not everything can do that. Again, not every character can do that. But Terry's one of those characters that can. And 6 frames is very good startup for this. Crouch Fierce is solid because it starts in 8 frames. And it's a very good anti-air if you're not feeling your DPs that day. And a lot of times if people neutral jump, you can just counter it with that as well. Like a lot of characters in this game will jump in front of you, then jump up. This still takes care of that as well. So it's a good option to have. But the real reason you're mostly going to be using this is just for combo potential. Thankfully, it could be drive canceled, and you can blow the full bar like that and get 3, very easy hits in 2,000 damage, go into a level 3 combo right there, and you're on your way. But the important things to remember about this is this move can combo into heavy bare knuckle, which is very important because this has very good frame advantage in this game on wake up. So if you dash forward, you're plus 9. That's one of the sweet spot numbers to be in because a lot of Terry's normals, are going to excel there. But it won't combo into things like round wave unless it's punish counter or on drive rush. So I'm going to get into all that. You don't have to worry about that too much. But mostly you will see this in combo situations because it doesn't have very good forward range at all. As you can see, I'm so close to Ken, it's still not going to hit him. There are plenty of times where I'll do a neutral jump, a medium kick, and think that I'm going to be in perfect range for this, and that's not going to hit. So you got to, factor in the standing version as well. So terrible forward range, but it's not about a move that's supposed to move you forward. It's about starting combos and working as an anti-air. Now, Terry's crouch light kick is okay just by itself, just your standard 5-frame move. Doesn't have the best range in the world, but it's not supposed to when his stand light kick goes so far. What you're normally going to use this for are, just simple hit confirms. The good thing is it can combo and chain into itself, and then it's very easy to get a jab after. So you can just do basic combos like this into, you know, medium bare knuckle. It's going to send them far, or burn knuckle. It's very good to have. And you can also, you know, do the old Sagat combo with 2 crouch light kicks into a jab into a DP. Oh man, that takes me back. Good to have. But the real reason you want to use this move is it's a very good tool if you drive rush and do it. One, it comes out in 5 frames, which is very good, and it hits low. But as you can see, it's a ridiculous +7 on hit. That means you're going to be able to combo into either a crouch medium punch or a stand medium punch. Why is that important? Because anything that connects with a medium punch or stand medium punch can be further drive rushed into, you know, another combo like that, or just a simple conversion into, you know, a bare knuckle into a level 3. Very good to have, because not every character can do this. And it's one of those situations where if you mix that up with the overheads, you mix that up with mid attacks and low attacks, you always leave yourself in a situation where you can hit off a level 3 if this light kick connects. So I'm glad they gave it to him, and I have to utilize it more in my game as well, but it's definitely something I'm going to implement. So speaking of moves you're going to see 5 billion times, crouch medium kick, it's just another amazing Shoto type crouch medium kick. You're going to see a lot of, you know, drive rush after it. It does have a target combo, which I'm going to get into after, which you're also going to see a lot. But if you ever just need to punish with this, it does lead into a lot of things, like medium burning knuckle. It's going to go into, it'll go into quick burn. It'll even go into power waves. So this is good, you know, if you just want to pressure with it, it'll go into DP as well. But you're going to see this a lot, and it's going to pick off a lot of opponents, and one of Terry's best ways to advance forward. And then Terry sweep. It's a sweep. You've seen them a million times. I know some people are different, like Giles and whatnot, but it's a sweep. You're not really going to see this much. You know, it is a good footsie tool once in a while to, you know, pressure and to sweep, but it can't really do anything else other than that, and it's hella negative, so just don't go around throwing it out like crazy. So the first target combo is stand medium punch into fierce punch. It doesn't do, you know, incredible damage, but some of the positives are that, you know, it can combo from very far away. So if you're not confident that you're going to be able to pull off a combo, you know, you still have a quick 14% hitting combo right there. But the real reason this move shines is on block, believe it or not. I'm not going to really go into details of why right now. I'm going to show you after in the more specific section. But as you can see, it pushes Terry back quite a bit, which means it's still punishable, still -5, but there's some spacing tricks that you can do later on, which I'm going to show you. And the biggest thing is just remember how far it pushes you back. Next up is Power Dunk, which unfortunately is a target combo in this game, but it still has some use. So the way that you're going to want to do it is medium punch followed by 2 hard kicks. And one thing, it won't work in some situations, like if it's not counter hit or punish counter, or they're not in like a drive rush state like that, it's not going to work. But there are ways to combo it, which I'm going to go into more depth once I go into the need to know section. But Power Dunk, a very easy combo that still does, you know, upwards of 2,000 damage. And if it's the ender in a combo route, you know, I've seen it go as high as 3,000 damage. So of course, we all wish Power Dunk was a normal move, but we'll take what we get. And then the most jank, most finicky one is definitely the passing sway. So it starts off with a medium punch into a medium kick starter. And then depending on, you know, if you hold back and push kick, or you hold forward and press punch, Terry will do different things. And they're fairly safe. It's +3 on block, and the other one is not punishable either. But they're only able to be done on hit. So if the opponent's blocking, this combo will never work, or sorry, this move will never even come out. I still haven't found out the best application for it. I have seen some situations where, you know, the opponent does nothing and then someone will try to perfect parry it and then they get thrown. But it's very gimmicky, and let's be real. If you ever do hit off a medium punch, there are better options you can go and get some big damage, you know, beyond just getting a punish counter throw. So I really don't see a use for passing sway yet, but knowing my luck, as soon as this video drops, people are going to find us the most game-breaking move in Street Fighter history. But it be like that sometimes. And by far his most important target combo is crouch medium kick into fierce kick. It sends them flying, but the good part about this is that their follow-ups after, you can combo into the heavy burning knuckle, You can go into crack shoot variations. There's a lot of things you can do. Also, if they're in the corner, let's say, for example, you can combo into level 2s, level 3s. It even goes into level 1s. So you're going to see this a lot as a whiff punish tool. You know, the opponent might move back. They'll try to shimmy out of range, go into something like that, and then hit you with the power knuckle. Buster Wolf. And then obviously in this situation, you can get 2 Buster Wolves, which everybody loves. But one thing you have to know, this move is hella negative on block. So if they block both hits, it's -16. Thankfully, you can still cancel the second hit into like a crack shoot or something like that. Or a lot of people will do a power wave. But this is not a true block string. It's very, you know, fake. So in situations like this, they can jab you out of the crack shoot, or they can EXDP and they'll blow you up. So it's still better than, you know, eating the full -16 punish. But don't think this is just a free move to close space and then just harass your opponent. And Terry jumping normals are actually very good. Right off the bat, he has a 4-frame jumping normal, and it's just his classic, iconic, you know, standing chop. Very good, you know, air-to-air, get-off-me type of situation. Tons of times I've been playing with Terry, both of us are low on health, and this jump back, you know, get-off-me really worked. His jump light kick, not that bad either. You know, I've changed up my jump arcs on people with it a few times and landed right in front of them. It comes out in 5 frames. Again, not the worst in the world. I haven't really used his stand or jump medium punch a lot, but just the range makes it seem like it'll be a good move to snipe, you know, Bison doing his air stuff. Well, let's be real. Nothing in the game is good enough to snipe those moves right now. Or Rashid or Chun-Li jumping off the wall. So I got to put in that use as well. And then maybe it does have, you know, more versatility. He's got a standard, you know, cross up, jump over, medium kick. The muscle memory on this is so hard for me right now because Ed used to have a jump over medium punch, and I still find myself doing that from time to time. But if you hit this deep, you're still going to be able to get a fierce off of it depending on where you land. But that's always great as well. His jump fierce has a very good hitbox. I've actually been stuffing a ton of things with this. It might just be a placebo effect or people don't really know his jump heavy kick or jump fierce is. But I do feel like I've been stuffing tons of things with these. So right now I'm going to give Terry's jumping normals, you know, a big A+. So I mentioned in another video that none of Terry's normals are positive. That's not really a bad thing. You know, if you look at Ed, only a stand hard kick is positive, and it's a whiff machine, and Ed still does fine. Where Terry is very plus is a lot of his specials, especially on block, are plus. So if you need plus frames, you can get in that stance. So in this section, I'm going to go over all of Terry's special moves and OD uses, and then we're going to go from there. Alright, so let's talk about Terry's Power Wave, one of his most iconic moves. I remember as a kid always wanting to do this in the playground, and I just look like such a doofus. But now no one can say anything to me, okay? Because Terry's in Street Fighter 6. So the thing to remember with this is, it is a very good fireball still. I know I said his con is that he loses to zoning characters, but in characters, against characters that don't have an answer for fireballs, you know, it's very good to have. And again, you want a fireball that's very slow, and you want a fireball that's very fast, because that's able to change up the timings. And when a fireball's slow, you can drive rush behind it, drive rush and do a DP if you think they're going to jump. Like, there's so many things you can do. What you have to know is that each version is different. The light punch version does the slow one, the medium punch version does the quick one and it doesn't go full screen, and the heavy punch version does the round wave. Round wave is great as a tool to, you know, get a lot of plus frames. Even on block, it's +5, and you're going to see a lot of people do it on wake up. Just don't get predictable because it is, you know, parryable, and you're going to see it in a lot of combo routes. Now, because Power Wave is this way, you really can play a traditional fireball game, especially against characters with godly fireballs like Akuma, who might have the best fireball game since, honestly, Sagat, if I'm being honest, from Street Fighter 4. I can't think of another Street Fighter character that has better fireballs than him right now. And the biggest issue is, my slow fireball is never going to get to him, and in a real situation, Akuma will be able to block in this situation. I'm going to get hit. So you're going to have to use the medium punch version. And if you're even slightly off, this starts off in 14 frames, or 16 frames. It's not the fastest startup. So you're going to get peppered by fireballs and, you know, just hate this part of the game. This part's going to be very frustrating. So you have to keep in mind what fireball to use. But that's not to say this fireball doesn't have utility to it, because there are going to be times where Akuma's going to be low on health, and I'm going to be throwing out this fireball like crazy. I'll take those trades all day if it means that, you know, one more hit is going to kill him. So you might not want to play the fireball game in this distance against Akuma. You might want to start, you know, closer up in this distance where your medium version can still be annoying. Power Wave, don't play it like a traditional fireball. You have to play it with how like an all-arounder character would be throwing out fireballs. Now OD Power Wave is great because one, it goes full screen, and second, it is super slow, so you can, you know, drive behind it. Chances are they're not going to get hit full screen like this because most people will be blocking. But if you ever do need a break from the fireball game, you know that this is going to go through everything and it helps you reset the situation. And sometimes you do need that. I know it costs a lot of bar, but the breathing room is important as well. And obviously the other reason they're important is that they give you tons of combo ability. So going into the round wave, it's +8, which means, you know, you can link into things like medium punch, stand medium punch, crouch medium punch, crouch fierce is going to work as well. And then anytime those moves work, you know what, you're going to lead into a drive rush for more damage as well. It can also be used after power charge like that, and it gives you a, you know, a +52, which is a crazy safe jump. You're going to have to time it. But there are also routes where, you know, you can make this a perfect, you know, spaced safe jump like this. Something very basic like that is +42. You're always going to get a safe jump after. So it leads into a lot of combos like that, but it also leads into safe jump options, which is very good. And the exact same thing is said for, you know, standing, OD Power Wave. As you can see from these distances, +11, you're not really going to use it as just like a raw tool like that. Where you're really going to see it is that, you know how I mentioned earlier that Terry's moves are space dependent? Because if you're up close, you don't recover in time to get, you know, a very positive situation. But if you're further away, you know, I'm +14, which means Terry can actually recover and do things like stand medium punch that are going to work. And then you would normally see that in an application like this. So as you can see, if you slow down the video, I was able to combo a round wave into a crouch fierce. And because it pushed me back so far, I was able to recover out of the OD Power Wave faster than if I was over here, and I was able to connect the medium punch. Because if you do it up close, let's just say, this combo is not going to work. So that extra space that sent me back is good. And that's why I said Terry needs to be very space dependent on his normals and specials. And it's just going to come by playing and practicing the game. So if you mess up, and we're all going to mess up, I do it a million times a game, you know what? We're learning. Just get through it. And because OD Power Wave is a slow move that, you know, it travels across the ground, they also gave it juggle properties. So a lot of times you're going to see a situation where people cancel the very first frame of the power charge into the OD version, just to carry them further away. As you can see, the corner carry is quite good. But then you can chase it down with like a stand fierce into a DP level 3. So there are definitely a lot of utilities for it. And you're going to see in the need to know section, it's got some tricky utility. And then his DP, Rising Tackle, or Rising Taco, as us old heads used to say. I friggin' love this move. One, they made it a DP motion. It didn't always used to be a DP motion. It used to be charge in a lot of King of Fighters games. Thankfully in King of Fighters 15 they made it a DP and they stuck with it. But here's what you need to know. The light one comes out in 5 frames, which is amazing. So if you ever see an opponent do a safe jump that's only +41 or lower, this will blow it up 10 times out of 10. So you have to always look out for that. The medium kick version is 6 frames, and I actually like using the medium kick version a lot after a drive rush, because it comes out in just enough frames to, you know, not leave me overexposed like the heavy version, but it still covers a ton of distance. The heavy version, 7 frames, still good, still very good, but it does push you forward a bit, so keep in mind you have to know your spacing. If the opponent jumps close to you, they might go over. But all in all, these are amazing. I'm so happy he has them. Obviously they combo into things like level 3, but we already knew that. And the OD version is the exact same. It's fully invincible. It's a great get off me. And honestly, after playing with characters that don't have true get off me's, I miss this so much. So Rising Taco, 10 out of 10. And then one of my favorite moves of Terry, Burning Knuckle. I used to call it Bare Knuckle as a kid back in the day. Sometimes I still do it just because I'm used to it. But this will only work with medium punch and hard punch. And it's a quarter circle back. This is a great move. It's very quick in terms, for a move that sends you far, it's very quick. And the medium punch version doesn't have a tell. The hard punch version does. And that's basically the tell. When you see he puts his arms up and he flies. The reason this is a very good tool is, one, you always want a move that will push you forward. But if perfectly spaced, this move is plus on block. The worst it will be is 0 if your spacing is okay. And then if you're not even worrying about your spacing at all, it's super negative. As you can see, -6, you're going to need tons of damage. The hard punch version, -8, you're going to need tons of damage. And then the OD version is -8. So you're going to, again, eat a lot of damage. What you want to look out for, though, is the screen shake. So if you time the distance perfectly and you see that little screen shake there, you can make this anywhere from -1 or +1 to +2 all the way up to +4, depending on, you know, if they're waking up at a certain time. So you always have to look out for that screen shake. So over there, that was a badly timed one. But if I take one step back, it's +1. So a great tool. The same thing applies for the OD version. As you can see, it's a +1, which means it's always your turn if you go for a jab after. And then some of the situations you can go into is you can get the screen to shake, go into a jab, and then walk forward or walk back with a shimmy. So learn your spacings. Again, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to mess up. The biggest thing is don't mess up the strong version because you're going to eat a ton of damage if you mess up. But you're going to have to learn your ranges, and opponents are going to be moving back and forth all the time. So it's going to be a learning curve. It'll be okay. We're all going to get through it. So Burn Knuckle can combo into level 3 and level 2, but only in certain specific situations. So a regular Burn Knuckle will never combo into level 2. Like, no matter how much I mash, it's not going to come out. It will only come out with the OD version. So as you can see, level 2 will come out. Still does a boatload of damage, especially on Akuma. And this will also go into the level 3 version if that's the way you want to finish the route. With the Burn Knuckle or Burning Knuckle, these will also combo into level 3, but you have to be in the cancelable window to do it. You can't do it full screen and then mash DP because it's not going to work. So yes, it does combo into level 3, but it's not like a get out of jail free, I hit them from a mile away and I'm going to get it. You have to be in a certain spot like that to make sure you're in the cancelable window. Next up is Terry's Quick Burn. So instead of doing quarter circle back with medium punch or hard punch, you do with a light punch, and you're going to get this 2-hitting attack. It combos, so as you can see, hits 2 hits. It can even, you know, end combo strings like that as well, which you're not going to do a lot of. But the important part of this is that the second hit is an overhead. It is -5, so, you know, don't go crazy throwing it out. But if you ever want to catch them by surprise, it does hit overhead. And you're going to see it has applications outside of this as well, but we're going to get into that shortly. And obviously, it wouldn't be Street Fighter 6 without overheads comboing into level 3s for some reason. And it's no different here. So if you do catch them sleeping, or you just want a Hail Mary attack, if that second hit connects, you can mash level 3 and it's going to come out. I know this is going to make people salty because it would definitely make me salty if I got hit by this. It doesn't do like the full 4,000 damage, but 3,300 off a lucky guess, nothing to sneeze at. So I am a big fan of Crack Shoot, you know, another one of Terry's iconic moves. It's not the best move in the game, but it definitely has some use. For starters, it pushes you forward, and if opponents try to empty jump and come towards you, this will actually clip them out of the sky. But you're going to see it often either as a situation where you want to blow up a low and get close, and they're all safe on block. They're all -3, you know, when the opponent is not in burnout. But you'll often see it as like a combo extender like that into something else, or you'll catch opponents throwing out a lazy fireball and you're going to go over it. And I've actually clipped a ton of people with this just because I got the read on their fireball game, and then I was able to actually close the gap and then hit them twice with it. The other thing you're going to see a lot is the EX version of it. So if they're not airborne, they're actually just going to hit the ground and then the combo is done. And obviously you're not going to want that. So the situation you're going to see it most is, let's just say you knock them in the air, they're going to get a ground bounce like that. And that's important because there's going to be situations where you only have 1 bar of super gauge left, or you want to save your bar. You know that if this hits, you can actually go into a quick level 1 for the round. So this is going to be a bread and butter that a lot of people need to know. You know, it even works off the low target combo like that, and you can still go into level 1 after that. So EX has its use, but you're definitely going to do it for a level 1 finisher. Now where EX crack shoot really shines is when the opponent is negative. So all of Terry's normals and moves essentially become positive. Not all of them, but you know, all the ones that you want to be positive are going to be positive. So this is no longer -3, it's +1, which means if you're close enough for a jab, it's always going to be your turn. And you can get into a situation, you know, where you can create loops like this. And if you feel that you're going too far away from them, you know, the medium, the OD version will bring you back in, it'll suck you back in, and then you're +2. So very annoying. I actually had one of my friends tell me that this is his most hated way to get sent to the corner, just because it looks so goofy as well. But +1, nothing to sneeze at, and I'll show you some checkmate situations with it a little bit later on. So Quick Burn also has an OD version. It's quarter circle back with light punch and medium punch, and it's a move that hits 3 times. And here's what you need to know about the move. The first thing is it can also combo into level 3 like the original Quick Burn. So on the second hit, you can cancel out like that, but it has the added bonus of also being able to combo into level 2 on that second hit. So that being available to you is very good to have. The other thing you need to know, and this is going to catch a lot of people, especially at this beginning stage of Terry's life, his life like he's a real person. The second hit is an overhead, so you're going to catch a lot of people. Eventually, they're going to figure that out. They're going to stand through it, and that's when you're going to get into trouble, because if they block it, it's -5. So if they have a -5, you know, cancelable move, you're going to eat some damage for it. So don't rely on it as a crutch. But even if, you know, you just throw it out in a combo and you mess up the combo, it still does okay damage and sends them forward. But just remember, it's best used to either trick them into an overhead or link into your specials. And then obviously the star of the show, it's the power charge. You know, it's funny, a lot of people didn't think he was going to get power charge as a move, and I could see why. They thought maybe power dunk would be in instead of it, but it's here and it's very important. What's the important part to know is that, one, they're hella negative. If they block any of these, you're eating big damage, so just be prepared. But the light one keeps them on the ground, it's +3. The medium one will send them flying, and the hard punch version will also send them flying. The hard punch version, or sorry, the hard kick version is the only one where you can cancel out of it into another move. And we've all seen these a million times. You know, Terry will do the power charge into a crack shoot into a combo like that, or he'll do the power charge into a, you know, heavy punch burning knuckle. We've all seen it. You're gonna have to know all the things that combo into it. So in this situation, the first hit of the stand fierce is the only thing that's gonna do it, but you're gonna see in the punish counter and counter hit section, there are other ways we can get into it as well. If your opponent's in the corner though, you can get follow-ups after the medium punch version. So as you can see, I was able to get the DP off, which means I'll be able to do DP level 3. And I'm pretty sure you can also do level 1 and things like that, or a raw level 3. So you have access to that. Now, I mentioned earlier that his moves are all spacing dependent. It's no different here with power charge. As you can see, power charge up close makes Akuma have this type of flinch. But if you do it further away, Akuma will have a flinch where like he'll touch the ground, like you take like the wind out of him. Once you get that animation of like, you know, the wind being taken out of them, you can actually combo into a jab after. And once you get the crouch jab, you can get the stand jab into a, you know, continuation combo like this, and you just keep the show going. So again, spacing dependent, you're just gonna have to know when to use the right power charge for the situation. Now OD power charge, honestly, you're really going to see it in situations like Ryu's EX donkey kick. So you can close out rounds with like a DP over there into a level 3. You know, you've seen it a million times. But where the tech gets interesting is driving, like doing a drive rush through it to end up on the other side. You can follow it up with other attacks. But it's best probably used as a side switching situation. you know, if you want to get out of the corner. So something like that. You can do a follow-up DP. You know, you can do a Busterwolf after as well if your timing is correct. So it's not going to be something you see all the time, but it still has some use. And now finally the fun part, counter hits and punish counters. So you have to keep an eye out for any type of counter hit or punish counter markers that you get. I know it's a big part of every character in this game, but counter hits and punish counter open up so many different routes for Terry that you really do have to keep an eye out for it. So let's start off with, you know, stand jab and crouch jab. These are both +6, which is very, very good, because that's going to tell you right away it's going to combo into crouch medium punch. And because your hitbox is extended when you're hurt, or your hurt box, this will hit from insane ranges, like ranges that I normally wouldn't be able to hit Ed from. And anything that combos into crouch medium punch means it can go into a drive rush, which means it can go into a heavy follower. And now you're just doing big damage and you're moving them to the corner. The other thing it'll combo into is stand light kick from very far away. And remember, stand light kick is a very good tool, because if you do a delayed attack or a delayed power charge from far away, or a space power charge I should say, you can do a follow-up like that into another combo. And then the one you've probably seen a million times by now is this follow-up into the stand jab into the DP. So if you see a counter hit jab, the party's just getting started for Terry. So stand medium punch doesn't have as much utility as stand jab in terms of like comboing straight into normals, because it's not going to combo into any normal. As you can see, it's +3, but it still has a use, and that use is once it's counter hit, it'll now combo into the medium kick power charge. Normally it wouldn't do that if it was non-counter hit, like I would be blocked there and then probably eat like 30 to 40% of damage, but it does have that utility now. Why is that important? Let's just say you're in mid-screen and you pull this off. There's a couple things you can do. One, you can mash level 3 and get that out. Over there I didn't get the animation, but if you do it quick enough, you will get the animation. And you can also do, you know, further corner carries with it. It can combo into things like Busterwolf as well, from anywhere in the screen, which is good. Anything that comes into level 1s you want to do. But you're also going to see it in a situation where your opponent is cornered, and let's just say they whiff out a normal or they whiff a tech. You can still clip them with this and then go into the same variation. So I love this move, and it's one of those things where yes, you don't get the whole world handed to you, but the route that it gives you is still very important. So up next is Terry Stand Fierce. You don't get that much in terms of like combo ability, but you do get some nice utility out of it. So it's +4, which means it'll combo into stand jab. And you know, you can do things like stand jab into fierce DP, but that's not really why you're going to want to use this tool. What you want to use this tool for is on the second hit now, it'll combo into heavy punch burning knuckle. Normally it wouldn't do that. And the reason you want to use this option a lot is because it carries them super far. And let's just say you're in a situation where you're burnt out, you have another level 3 route now. So good to know that that +4 does add, you know, some more openings on the cancel windows, but it still won't combo into the strong version of power charge. But don't worry, we'll figure out ways how to do that in a bit. Now its overhead is also +4, and the good thing about this on counter hit is it will actually combo into crouch light punch. The standing version will never combo into crouch light punch. Maybe there's some scenarios or the big bodies that it will, but as you can see, it's whiffing. The reason you want to combo into the crouch version sometimes is because you can combo into the medium burning knuckle, which is not possible if you do the standing version. I think I told you that at the beginning of the video. It's been so long, I've already forgotten. Yeah, there you go. So if you ever see this, know that you can get the crouch version off to carry the opponent further away. And of course, it'll combo into level 3s and everything like that. Now, if you do the drive rush medium punch and it's counter hit, then it's +7, which means it'll combo into itself again if that's the route you want to go, or it'll combo into a crouch medium punch. So you also have to look out for, you know, drive rush versions of counter hits. Street Fighter 6, man, you always got to be thinking. And then the other use for stand medium punch counter hit is once you see that counter hit, the target combo into power dunk will always work. So if you don't trust that you're going to pull off the combo, let's just say you dash back, you don't want to go for like a fancy drive rush combo or a power charge combo, you can always dash back and then go straight into this, and it still does 23% of the health bar. So Very good. Then crouch light kick for counter hit. It's +5, which means it will link into standing light kick. And at this distances, you should be able to get the big power charge. Yeah, see? Ed actually does the crumple state, so you can go right into this combo after if your timing is good. So if you do catch them on the tip just like that, your stand light kick will still work. If you drive rush and into the crouch light kick and you get a counter hit, it's +9, and that pretty much is going to combo into basically every one of his combo starters. So you can go right into fierce, go into, you know, a crouch fierce, and go on your way. So the crouch fierce is good because it goes into, you know, heavy combos as well, but I would do the standing fierce because then you can go into the heavy punch power charge. Now counter hit crouch medium kick, you don't get that much off because it's only a +0 or just neutral 0 on hit. Even when you drive rush, it's only +4, and it pushes you so far back that getting a jab is pretty much impossible there. But the one big change is it will combo into medium kick power charge. So if you're, you know, if your timing's on point, you can connect with that pretty far. And obviously if they're in the corner, you can go with it even further than that. Now counter hit crouch medium punch is a different story because this will go into everything. It's +7 on hit, so it'll combo into itself naturally. It'll combo into standing medium punch as well. So you just want to pick the combo route that works best for you. Maybe you want to end in a medium punch ender like that, or, you know, spend some bar and have the combo continue on. So use what works best for you, but this is going to be a big frame trap button as well, which I'm going to show you in a bit. One big change with this version on counter hit is it'll actually combo into the heavy burning knuckle, which normally this wouldn't work on non-counter hits. So it gives you another option, and this is good because, again, if you dash forward, you're +7. +7 on wake up is exceptionally good. You have a lot of frame trap options. It can go up to +9 like you see at the bottom. So tinker around with it, see which option works best for you, but don't sleep on this. And obviously you can combo into level 3 as well. So you really don't get much off of stand light kick. It's +4 at this range. You know, the jab is not going to hit, but if you set up a frame trap and you get them up close, then the jab will hit. So it's all space dependent. I don't think it gives you that much more in terms of, you know, combo ability into some of his other specials or whatnot, but it's worth noting if they're close, you know, you could get a jab off and go on your way. Now this is where the fun starts. Stand medium kick, it gets a life of its own with counter hit. It hits super far, but because it does and it's +7, it'll combo into things like standing fierce, or sorry, standing medium punch from so far, and then that can lead into drive rush combos and whatnot. It also goes into crouch medium punch if that works better for you, and let's just say you're burnt out, like there's simple meterless punishes like that that still do 2200 damage, which is awesome. But the real fun in this is anything that's counter hit or above for the stand medium kick will combo into Busterwolf. So it's kind of strict, the timing. That's why I just honestly mash Busterwolf. Sometimes I'll get it, sometimes I won't. I just have to practice it more. But look at that, 28% of your health bar gone just like that. And I've seen videos online where people have hit probably 5 to 6 of these in a 3-round game. So that's a lot of, you know, damage. That's a lot of super use, and this move just gets a whole new lease on life when it's counter hit. And then nothing to see with stand hard kick. It's just +3, can't be cancelled or anything like that. There is a rare situation if they're to, let's just say, trade a normal with you. If you hit them with a stand hard kick and you get punched back, you can mash out level 3 super in your recovery and you'll still hit them. I might show you how that looks in a bit, but just keep that in mind. If you trade with this move and it's a counter hit, just mash level 3. Then you have crouch fierce. It doesn't get that much frame advantage on hit, so it's only +3 on counter hit, so it's not going to link into anything. But the added property now and the increased hit stun, you can actually combo into heavy power charge. And obviously we know why this is important. You go into basically all of his combo starters from that, and you gotta have that in your arsenal for sure. Now for punish counters, punish counter jabs are +8. which is very good because, you know, if you know something is to be punishable by jab, you can go into crouch fierce, and obviously crouch fierce, good combo starter. If you get off a drive rush jab and it's punish counter, so you're going to see this if you perfect parry a fireball and then jab through to punish, it's plus 12, which means it'll go into any one of his normals, even stand hard kick like that. So in this situation, the best thing to do is to dash forward into fierce punch, get both punches if you want for a delayed combo, or do the quick early cancel if you want the power charge conversion. But you get lots of plus frames off of punish counter jab. Punish counter medium punch is plus 5, which is actually pretty good because it will combo into stand light kicks, even from very far distances. Like, you're going to get them like that because they're going to have the extended hurt box when they get hurt. And then obviously this will go into the power charge that's going to cause that crumple state, and that'll let you follow up with more combos as well. Drive rush is plus 9, which means you can go right into fierce version of a punish counter, or you can go into the crouch version. So pick whichever version you like. And if you're super up close and you want another combo, it will combo into crouch light kick into stand jab, so it looks something like that. And then if your timing is right and you don't mess it up like I did, it'll go into the DP like that. So there are options. You know, punish counter, Terry really comes alive. All right, stand fierce. It is plus 6 now on punish counter, which means you'll be able to combo things like crouch medium punch if you don't choke it like I just did. It's a good option, you know, it does decent damage, sends them flying. But the big change here now is the second version of this hit will actually combo into the power charge. So if it's not punish counter, or it's just counter hit or regular hit, the second hit will never combo into the power charge. So if you see that punish counter, you know, state come up, just know you can take your time and then actually just go into the power charge like that. If you drive forward and do it, it's plus 10, which means it will combo into itself again. I don't think you're going to see yourself in this situation a lot unless you punish like a DP or a super, but look out for it. And there are, you know, different ways that you can go about punishing those DPs as well. The 2-hit punish counter also will go into fierce, burn knuckle, very good obviously. Crouch light kick is plus 7, so it can combo into stand medium kick or medium punch, or it can combo into crouch medium punch. Why is this important? Well, anytime you can combo into a crouch medium punch from far away, you can combo a stand light kick, so you can do a combo that goes into that extended version as well. This super was an accident, but it still looks cool, so I'm leaving it in. If you do get off, you know, a punish counter crouch short like that, it's plus 12 up to plus 11, so you can go easily into a heavy combo starter as well. Again, I don't know how often you're going to find yourself in this situation, maybe after perfect parry fireball or whatnot, but it's available to you. So medium kick, again, very good. It's plus 9. It's going to go into the usual stand medium punch, crouch medium punch. Now, even though it's plus 9 and fierce is plus 9, it doesn't work because it just puts you out of range and the second hit's going to connect, and that's after 9 frames. But if you're to drive rush and get it, it's plus 12, and then the standing fierce will go into it quite easily. And because it's plus 9, you have so much more time to mash out the Busterwolf, so just go ham. Stand roundhouse causes the crumple state, and you're going to see this a lot because Terry is going to get this off a lot if he's good with his counter pokes or someone throws out a whiff grab. What you want to do in this situation is dash forward and go into any follow-up that you want. The simple one is just the basic target combo that goes into power dunk, has good wall carry, does decent damage. But if you're quick enough, there are other options you can do. You can combo into like crouch medium punch into something. Some people can combo into crouch fierce if they're quick enough. But anytime you see them go down, you know, there's something that you can do. So you have to figure out what approach is best for you. Punish counter, crouch medium kick, nothing too special, but you can actually combo into fierce punch, burning knuckle. All right, let's talk about power waves on counter hit. They are more plus, so 19 from far away or -1 when you're close. You're not going to really be going into combos with this from pretty much any distance. The medium punch version, the quick one, always knocks down on counter hit, so you have to keep that in mind. It's not something that you're going to be able to, you know, capitalize on big. But the big one here is the round wave. So this becomes plus 10, And anything that's plus 10 is going to go into all of Terry's, you know, big normals that are going to combo. So crouch fierce, stand fierce, and then you just go on your way. So if you see counter hit come up when you hit them with this round wave, you're in for a good time. Now, one thing you will see if you're frame trapping them and you want to go for a quick burn, if you hit them with both hits or you're up close, it's actually +4. And when it's +4, it means it'll go into jabs, no problem. Over there, you can get 2 jabs off and still go into DP or go into super if you want. But it also goes into crouch jab, which leads into medium punch burn knuckle. Now, if you hit them with the second hit, so the far extending hit, it's actually +5. But the timing is honestly very space dependent. It's not very consistent. But if you ever do think you get the +5 version, that means it'll be able to combo into crouch light kick from far away. And if you combo into crouch light kick from far away, you can still get the strong version of the light power charge, and then you can go into the stand combos. I highly doubt you're going to see this often, but you know, test your reactions. Punish counter round wave is +12, which means it will combo into stand fierce even from max distance. You're only going to get one of the hits unless you're very close, like they're in the corner like this. But anytime you get crouch fierce, you know you get a lot of damage behind it. This one's really good, but let's just say your opponent does a wake up DP. If you punish it with a burn knuckle that's an OD, it's actually going to knock them into the wall, and then you get a wall splat. It's very easy to convert after this. You know, do whatever you want. Even if you want just basic damage off of it, you can just do the stand fears into another one, and this will also combo into the level 2, the level 3, so you can keep it simple. If you want like a better route that you can do, let's just say you do this into the round wave, you notice it's not going to work. You have to do it raw like that, and then Ken will go flying into the air. So it won't be able to combo into it the way that it normally does, but it still has a route that you have to remember. And like I said, if you're not feeling it or you know you have the win in hand, you can still go into like an extremely basic route like this, and look, it still does well over 5,000 damage. So it's always good to have that type of damage. Quick burn's another move. It gets another property. You're not going to see this often because it's not going to be a punish counter route for you, but if your opponent's mashing and you do see punish counter, it's +6, which means it goes straight into crouch medium punch, and that'll go into drive cancel, etc, etc. You already know the deal. Or you can just go a simple route and do the stand version of light kick. Again, this is a mistake, but it looks cool, so I'll keep it going. And if you do it far spaced out, it's going to be +7, and in those situations your stand medium punch will connect like that. So Busterwolf is his level 1, very good super, comes out in 7 frames, goes very far and is very fast, so not every level 1 is going to be like that. It doesn't go through fireballs like it did in the old SNK games. I know that would be a bit too cheap, and none of the level 1s outside of, I think, Marissa has beat fireballs anyways, so you just got to deal with it. But basically the best part of this super is that it combos into virtually anything if the opponent's airborne. So you're going to see it as an option, like when an opponent's in the air like this, you do crack shoot into Busterwolf, it's going to work. It'll even work off the EX crack shoot, which you'll see a lot. So people might just do the target combo, mash super, and then it's going to come out. One great thing about this is that if you do the target combo in the corner, like this one that sends them flying, it gives them extra hang time, and you can actually combo 2 Buster Wolves in it. And the timing is not strict at all. They stay in the air for a long time, and it does over 30% of your health bar. So I thought that was a pretty cool touch, and maybe they're going to keep it in or take it out. Someone did mention in my other video that he has it in other SNK games as well, so maybe it was an intentional thing. And then the other one, you always have to watch out for when it says punish counter or counter hit, because as mentioned before, that means a free Buster Wolf. And just look how much damage this does for a level 1. And if it's a punish counter, this link is not hard at all. You just mash it out and it's going to work. But this super has a ton of damage utility. Terry's level 2 is, one of the coolest looking level 2s in the game. If you use all your resources, just tons of damage, and honestly it looks so sick. I'll never get sick of it. The reason it's important is you don't have to commit to the whole thing. A lot of times you'll actually see people do the twin geysers version of it, so that one, and then they'll combo into it after a drive rush or something like that. The reason that's important is that it gives you more time to think about, should I be using my third bar of super? You know, what if the opponent has a pixel of health left and that crouch medium punch into a burning knuckle will actually kill them? It gives you that decision to carry your super bar into the next round, and you always have to look out for their health when you're finishing that combo. So when they're in the corner, same thing, you can end it after the second hit, drive forward into like something like that is plus 42, and even after that you could do a DP if you want and combo level 1 right after the round wave. Literally do whatever you want once they're in that juggle state, but it's just good to know that all these juggle opportunities are available. Level 3 comes out very fast. It's 8 frames, which is pretty good for a level 3, which means it'll combo into a lot of things, and most ways you're going to do this are either after going to be a burn knuckle level 3, you can do the DP into level 3, you know, quick burn is going to go into it, the EX version will go into it. Again, if you juggle them in the air and hit them with the EX crack shoot, that one actually I don't know if it'll work. Let's do this for science. So this one probably doesn't work, but if you do the DP after, you'll get them for sure. So one thing you have to know as Terry is which moves you can punish with the stand light kick. It goes pretty far. It's not as good as, you know, Ed's crouch light kick, but let's take our good buddy Ken over here. A lot of Ken's fish with this normal, the standing hard kick. If they get you, they're going to send you in the air, take you to the corner, do tons of damage, and then put you in the blender. The good thing about Terry is because the stand light kick goes pretty far, in the distances where my jab won't hit, my jab comes out in 4 frames, I'll be able to punish it. Since it doesn't hit, I can actually combo from, you know, fairly far with a stand light kick. And if you do get the stand light kick off, you can go into the medium burning knuckle. If your spacing is good, you can go into a strong version of the power charge, which means you'll get the crouch jab, stand jab, DP combo after. But go through the cast and see which moves that this can punish at max distance, because not only does it give you a good, you know, check on your opponent's, like, their knowledge checks, but you can finish it off with like a standing or like a medium punch burning knuckle to get your space back. So work on this, and it's worth investing into all the characters to see what you can punish. So I've already mentioned a million times, you know, space is very important for Terry's special moves, because, you know, he gets different links depending on how far he does those specials. We know the obvious one, you know, the power charge setup like that, but this is something that I completely just randomly was testing. I was playing somebody and I did a whiff punish by accident like that, and I went into the light power charge and I wanted to mash super there, but I was able to actually combo a crouch medium punch into that string, so it wasn't just a light punch follow-up, and then that got me thinking. So you can see that combo worked. There's a 4-hit combo, and that means after, you know, you do another power charge like that, you should be able to get a jab combo follow-up and then go on your way. So that's going to take more testing. I hope someone, you know, posts it on YouTube or something so we can practice it more. But definitely good to know that he's got some crazy route options if your spacing is good. So Terry's combo routes I'm going to keep super short because most of them know them. Most of us know it already. The biggest thing is you just have to know what combos into power charge essentially. Everything else you can figure out, like medium punches will go into each other. You know, jab finishes can go into another drive rush. But power charge is a big one, and then so is round wave, because those are going to be Terry's big combo starters and continuers. And the other thing you have to remember is if the opponent's standing or crouched. So one of the ways that Terry can combo a power charge is off the first hit of a standing fierce. It won't work any other way. I know I mentioned earlier if his punish counter is different or his drive rush is different. For him to combo the crouch fierce into a power charge, it needs to be a drive rush version like that, and in order to combo into a power wave like that or a round wave, it's not going to work normally like that. It's going to have to come after the first hit of the drive rush, and it's not going to be able to do it on the crouch version of this. So one thing you have to know for the combo routes is how to go into crouch fierce into round wave. It's never going to work normally. Even on punish counter, it's not going to work. But when it will work, is punish counter drive rush crouch fierce. And as you can see, when you do it, it works. Reason this is important is it lets you go into like a very damaging loop like this, and even without spending that much bar or no super bar at all, it does nearly 4,300 damage on that route. And there's more ways that you can add damage onto that. You can also finish it with level 3, and you know, that's a ton of damage. It does over 6,000, but you have to know that punish. So the reason I don't go into a lot of depth there is because once you have those combo routes figured out, that's when you can decide, you know, if you want to do the crack shoot follow-up, you want to do the burn knuckle follow-up. You're going to want to decide what works best for you in what situation. But the most important thing is to recognize if the character you're facing is standing or crouching. Because when you're crouching, your hitbox is extended on some combos, so you can actually hit them with a crouch medium punch after. And let's just use this as an example. This very simple, you know, opening that Terry does, the drive rush into the round wave. Normally, if I try to, let's just say, combo the medium punch, it's not going to come out. Because Ken is standing, it pushes him back too far. But let's just say Ken was crouching in this situation. Now, I get the 4-hit combo off. Because he's crouching, he's extended a bit more. That combo is going to work. And from max distance, you know, if you actually do hit them with a medium punch, you can drive rush into another situation, including drive rush into a heavy, drive rush into, you know, a mix-up of your choice. But you have to analyze if they're standing or crouching, because that little extra millimeter gives Terry the distance he needs for stand medium punch. Alright, I'm not going to lie to you, and we're talking about shimmies. Terry's shimmies are kind of whack in this game. He still has some, but because his walk speed is not the best, you know, you can't exploit it like a lot of other characters. So simple ones like this, I'll just give a couple examples. A jump in, if you just do a slight walk back, even with the heavy version, you can get the shimmy off. I've actually caught a lot of people with this one. You can backdash if you want, but it'll send you pretty far back. But remember, if you get a jump in, a slight walk back, and you'll get that shimmy. The other option for a shimmy that he has is off of his throw loops. I'm going to get into throw loops after, but if you dash forward and they block your jab, you have to walk back just a tad, and then they'll miss the grab. The good thing is it also works off a crouch jab, which is good because you can throw up your timing. Just so that your opponent sees like a crouching opponent sometime or standing opponent sometime. You need that mental gain. He does have a, you know, a manual shimmy if you dash forward and then dash back. He does have a manual shimmy if you want. You're gonna have to dash forward and then dash back. Once you do that, you have to be still precise with your time to get up the medium punish counter on that. So right now I'm not getting punish counter, so I know my timing's off, but over there I got it. So that option's available as well. But I personally like the jab variation more. But you have to use them all to always keep your opponent guessing. So another shimmy setup he has is off of, you know, one of his longer routes. So if you just go into the usual power charge combo, round wave, with a medium kick in that state, well, I'll show you again how it's going to look. With a medium kick and then slight walk back, you're actually going to make them whiff as well. And you could do different ways to shimmy, but the more ways you have to shimmy, the more that your opponent is going to have to think about what they're going to do on their wake up. So change up their timings. This can also be in like a meaty situation, so you can actually grab them out of it or grab them before. So you might want to work this one into your game plan as well. And then this is just an example. If you want to see how it would look, you can whiff that and then hit off the counter hit. That means I did a frame perfect, you know, execution and a frame kill. So not only do I have a shimmy option, I do also have a frame trap option. So one actual major benefit of doing the jab version of the shimmy, so let's just say Ken blocks it over here, you get the stand medium punch, or sorry, stand fierce punch punish counter. And the reason that's important is now that it's a punish counter stand fierce, the second hit will actually go into power charge. So you have a lot more time to think about, you know, the combo route that you want to do. And anytime you get to think more in a game like this, you know, it's a big win for the player. So one thing you need to know with Terry is spacing traps. So a lot of times people are going to want to get their turn back in this game. So if you do like the medium punch target combo, if they don't know that stand light kick punishes it, or if you space it correctly, they might want to, you know, get their turn back with a crouch medium punch. In this situation, you just have to time a punish counter heavy kick after. You can even walk back to a medium punch if you're in the right range, just like that. But the spacing trap works heavily in your favor in this situation because of the pushback. Unless they have their perfect distancing or they know that only a close stand light kick will punish it, this is your opportunity to not only take care of, you know, characters that want to get their turn back, but really turn up the dial and do some big damage. Another spacing trap comes off of any grounded, you know, medium burn knuckle in the corner. So you could do just a generic combo, fake a crouch light kick, and then you're in the distance for not only a shimmy, but another type of, you know, spacing trap. That's when you can go into the full punish again. So these frame kills are very important, and the spacing that they leave Terry is also important because they take off big options like throwing, which obviously is a major part of this game. So it's Street Fighter 6, and obviously Terry has throw loops. Are they the best in the game? No, but here how you do them. You can do the delayed version where you have to walk up and do it. This one is manually timed, so if you're not on point, you're gonna get cat. But I still recommend people learn this option because you just have more control over yourself in terms of your offensive and defensive options. Even though I'm getting clipped here, it's just because I don't practice it enough. So this won't happen to you if you put in the time. The other way, the automatic timed way, is a dash forward grab. This one is, you know, always going to work. It's auto timed, and the best part about this one is, let's just say you dash forward and you want to catch up with the frame trap, it'll still work with a dash forward crouch medium punch. And if you want another option, you can dash forward, dash back, but that will only work if they do a grab. So if I try to dash back when he's doing a light jab, it's not going to work. So keep in mind that dash back is only going to work on a grab. So Terry does have some safe jumps. They're not the best in class, but you know, he still has a few, and you should know what they are. So first, anything that in the medium kick power charge is a true safe jump. You can see on the screen it's plus 42. That means it's going to beat all DPs, including the 5-frame DPs. And you can just do, you know, basic combo unders like medium punch into that move, and it'll be plus 42 every single time. So another thing that leads to a safe jump situation are juggles that end in the round wave. So, you know, just a quick example, you can do it straight out of the combo like that, and this will be anywhere from plus 52 to plus 43. So it would be a safe jump, but you do have to time it, so it's not in that perfect, you know, automatic plus 42 sweet spot. So in that case, what you want to do is you want to add one more round wave in a drive rush combo like that, and then you get the plus 42 frame every single time. You can even do a rising tackle after that round wave if you prefer, but you lose the safe jump option after. So Terry does have pretty good corner carry moves as well, and most of them are going to end in, you know, burning knuckle, the medium punch version or the hard punch version. So even if you go, you know, super basic route like this, and you end in a double dash after the fierce punch burning knuckle, you're plus 6, and you move them half screen. If you want to, you know, get fancy with it, you do an EX or an OD fireball after, and that's going to carry them even further. So when that happens, you have enough time to drive rush after into, you know, more impact moves like that, or you can increase your distance even more by doing a burn knuckle. There are ways to make them fall on that fireball twice, and then you get up the burning knuckle, sends them further. But as you can see, sending them half screen, you know, is nothing to sneeze at. So it's good to work this into your game once in a while. Yes, it's a bit expensive for using the bar. It's 3 bars in total, but you know, the corner carry is so big in this game, and it still does, you know, 25% of their health, so worth knowing. So Terry also has lots of side switches, which are good for him. Some of them are trickier, so you're gonna have to practice it. But if you're ever worried about, you know, getting them off, there's also basic ones like this, like the wall bounce. You can jump over there, you can, you know, drive rush underneath to get to the other side. That's not the best way to do it, but if you're not confident that you're going to be able to pull it off mid-match, at least you know you always have an easy corner carry there. And the good thing is, the timing is a bit strict on this, but you can actually get off like a cross-cut DP there to keep the damage going and still keep them in the corner. So more practical corner switches, let's just say you react to a drive impact in the corner, you can dash forward into passing sway with the kick, and then you're on the other side. The other great thing about this version is it actually gives you a meaty burn knuckle into it, but you have to do a crouch kill frame into the burn knuckle. Because I was just doing the demonstration, it didn't work there because I want to really emphasize on this, but this is how it's supposed to look. So as you can see, +2 on his wake up, thanks to the frame kill into the burning knuckle. So an even better one, in my opinion, is if you do get a counter, like a counter poke into your crouch medium kick, hard kick, target combo, you can just drive rush right underneath. That's safe, it's always going to work. But you're also able to do things like a DP that goes the other way, like a crosscut DP. And if you want to do this, it takes some practice, but essentially you want to be doing the DP in the same direction you're going. So imagine Ken is to my right, I'm still going to hold right, down, forward, right to do the DP. I'm not going to hold back and try to do the side switch. The game will do the autocorrect. And if you really want to swag on them, you can actually do a Busterwolf into it. So let's talk about drive reversal. Obviously a big part of this game. A lot of characters depend on it, especially if they really want you off of them, or they just have bad get off me moves in general. So if you're not burnt out, you're going to be +6 in this situation when you block it. So that means Terry can combo into his crouch medium punch. And the reason this is important is, one, obviously you can go into like a basic starter like that. If you want to go into the heavy variation, you can do that as well. But because it's punish counter, that means you can also go right into the heavy version of power charge, which normally isn't possible on counter hit or regular versions. So you're able to go right into these juicy combos right away. And as you can see, 2700 damage, and that wasn't even close to being optimal. I was just doing, willy-nilly stuff. So if you actually put time and, focus on the combos, 3000 damage right there, not even a super bar used, and I can continue that even further. So anytime you see the drive reversal, even if it's super far away, because the power charge, pushes you so forward, you're still going to get Terry from crazy distances like that. And I know a lot of people, they use the bar over here to, close the gap, but you really want to save that meter. Like, Terry needs his meter to, fight off a lot of characters, like in a fireball war or something like that. So if you can keep your meter, it is good. So Terry does a pretty fun parry bait. Terry parry, see, it rhymes. Oftentimes you're going to be throwing up power waves. A lot of people are going to want to parry it, but because he has 2 fireballs that don't go full screen, so the medium punch, power wave, and the round wave, you can actually use this to fake opponents. So if they're getting used to, just parrying these on block, or, anticipating a parry, you can do this, dash forward, and then get a punish counter grab. If you're a closer distance, you can do the round wave. People might still parry. In this state, you dash forward and get the grab. So this is a good tool to use. Yes, it does cost bar, but it's just another added layer to your gameplay that they're going to have to respect. So Busterwolf is also very good anti-air, so you just have to know that you do have a full screen anti-air in a lot of situations. So if you have just a dummy to set to jump, you can actually clip them from very far distances. And oftentimes you'll see this is if you know they're going to jump over a fireball because they're burnt out or something, it's still a good option to have to cover all that distance. I guarantee you this will win you some games. And the other thing to remember, even if they're able to stuff your Busterwolf like that, you can actually get off another one, which would be hilarious to do in match. Doesn't do that much damage, but again, it could win you around and just add extra salt to your opponent. Well, honestly, I hope you all liked the content. If you did, a like and subscribe is always good, and a comment is even better. I actually just like talking to people, so if anyone ever wants to have a chat in the comment section, I'm happy to do it. These guides take a lot of time, especially when you have kids, because most of the time I do it when they're sleeping, and I am a zombie when I do them. If I ever do one of these again, it's definitely going to be when our boy Sagat drops. But until then, I hope this helped you on your journey, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. And maybe in the future, I'll actually do individual matchup guides for Terry, because he's definitely going to be a character I'm going to play for a long time. So thanks again, everyone, and take care.